Hello, my name is Doug, and today we want to talk about what do human rights have to do with Christmas and Jesus. On the 10th of December, we celebrate Human Rights Day, a day to remember that out of the horror of the Second World War, where millions of people were butchered and tortured and bombed and experimented on and thrown into concentration camps, that the world came together and said this must never happen again. The newly formed United Nations appointed Eleanor Roosevelt to head the committee to establish the Declaration of Human Rights. Rights that literally everyone is entitled to. Yeah, everyone. So students, teachers, doctors, soldiers, Brits, Kenyans, Sri Lankans and Argentinians, astronauts on the ISS and submariners down below, CEOs and refugees, billionaires and homeless people, your friends, your parents, and of course you. Yes, you. Literally everyone is entitled to these rights. And they say that all people have an intrinsic value that can never be denied or overturned. They decided on 30 articles that countries around the world vowed to uphold and protect. And it's been a mixed bag in the last 70 years. But we do have courts that try people on human rights grounds and put people who violate these rules in jail. But why? Why do we believe that humans are entitled to these rights? Why do we believe that humans have some intrinsic value? Aren't we just flesh and bone, just like every other animal? Well, Eleanor Roosevelt believed that because she was a Christian. And Christians believe that human beings have value because they were created by God, that we're not here by luck, but we're here on purpose. One of the most important people who inspired our current list of human rights was Jesus of Nazareth. He taught that we should treat the people around us as we would want to be treated, including our enemies, that we should look after the poor and the oppressed, and that those that society rejects. The teachings of Jesus formed the basis of so many of our laws and the principles behind the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And at Christmas, Christians celebrate Jesus coming into the world. That's what Christmas means, Christ, Mass. So there are 30 human rights. Which out of these do you think is the most important?
Hi, my name's Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Janita. Christians believe that there once was a man called Jesus, and he was born on Christmas Day. Throughout his life, he treated everyone he met with value, love and respect, even people at the bottom of society. There's many times in the Bible where Jesus hung out with outcasts. For example, he spent time with a paralyzed man who had little value in society. He hung out with women who were looked down upon. And also, he spent time with a tax collector and helped him become a better man.
We want to focus on the story of a tax collector, and his name was Zacchaeus. Let's say he was not the most popular man at the time. He was not liked by a lot of society, as he worked with the Romans who were oppressing the Jewish population. As if that's not bad enough already, he also took more money than he was supposed to take. And he did this for his own gain. When Jesus came into the town, everybody wanted to go and see him, Zacchaeus included. And naturally, a huge crowd collected at the marketplace. So Zacchaeus wasn't necessarily the tallest person, so he was trying to squeeze his way through the crowd to try and see Jesus, but nobody let him get to the front. Zacchaeus never lost his determination to see Jesus, so he climbed the nearest tree to try and see over the crowd. So Jesus saw Zacchaeus, and he asked him if he could go through his house for dinner. He didn't leave him out or forget about him, he actually chose to spend time with him. Jesus accepted Zacchaeus, something which the rest of society failed to do. Nobody had ever helped Zacchaeus before, but after Jesus decided to help him, Zacchaeus actually changed his ways, and he gave more money back than he actually took in the first place. This is because Jesus treated him with the same rights and value as everyone else. In those days, this was a really powerful story. A tax collector being approached by someone very high up in society who was liked by the majority of people.
To make it a little bit more relatable for us, we thought of a story with quite a similar message. In the movie Despicable Me, a man called Gru and his minions create an evil master plan to steal the moon in order to become the greatest supervillain of all history. Gru always sticks out in whatever he does. He has a creepy black house in the middle of a very friendly neighborhood. He has a big, monstrous car, and he has a habit of carrying around his collection of very interesting weapons. When he was a child, he was avoided by everyone on the playground, and even as an adult, that is still the case for him. In order to complete his plans, he adopts 3 young sisters. In the beginning, they are just a nuisance to him. They are annoying and simply in the way all the time. But as the movie goes along, their steady love and affection towards him changes him that in the end he even neglects his plan to steal the moon in order to be with them.
Both Zacchaeus and Gru were hated by society because of their job and the way that they treated people so unfairly. But both of them completely changed because they received affection and love. The 3 little girls and Jesus both didn't hesitate to give them a second chance. They accepted them despite their mistakes, and they gave them love, which is what they needed.
So, how does the way Jesus treated people challenge you?
Hello, my name is Hannah. So how do we help other people?
So we've just been talking about Jesus, who treated people with absolute respect and dignity. But let's rewind a bit and look at the beginning of his life. The Bible tells us the story of Jesus' birth. We're told that Jesus is the Son of God who was born into the world for the sake of humanity. Now, Jesus wasn't born into a rich family in a comfortable hospital bed, as I'm sure you know. You'd probably think that if the Son of God was coming to earth, that he might at least expect a few perks with that. But actually, Jesus didn't demand anything. He lived a life filled with humility and sacrifice. Jesus wasn't showered with respect and good treatment throughout his life. But actually, the Bible shows us that Jesus laid down his life. He laid down his rights for us by dying on a cross. The Bible tells us that Jesus did this to offer forgiveness, to take upon himself all the stuff that we have done and will ever do wrong. So what does this say about us? The idea that someone would be willing to pay for all the mess in our lives. Christians believe that this is a message of hope and forgiveness. The fact that Jesus looked at us and looked at our world and thought that we were worth dying for suggests that we are so valuable in the sight of God. So our value can't be taken away or changed by anything. We have intrinsic value and worth as human beings. And I wonder if we ever forget that. So if someone was willing to die in our place and to lay down their rights, as the Bible tells us, then what about us? What can we do for others? So let me tell you about a charity called Tear Fund. They're a Christian charity working to beat poverty. And they currently have a Christmas appeal in Malawi, and this is something that if you want, you can be a part of. So in Malawi, weather patterns that have guided generations of farmers have changed, and this is putting everyone at risk. There are 2.6 million people facing hunger, and the pandemic is making everything worse at the moment. So there's a woman in Malawi who lives with her family, and she's called Alaya. So extreme flooding and droughts are destroying their crops and their home and causing people in their village to go hungry. Alaya even knows of people in her community that have died from starvation. I wonder what Christmas will be like for them this year. Alaya and her family will struggle to eat this year, let alone receive anything like the kind of treats that most of us are going to get. How often are we so consumed with our own lives that actually we forget to think about others. The challenge for us is to be proactive and make a difference where we can. If there's an opportunity to help someone that's in need, let's do it. So there are loads of people like Elia and like her community that are in desperate need of help. But what can you do? If you want to, you can help people like Elia by teaming together and raising money. There are loads of fun and creative ways of doing this, and people love to give to a good cause. Alternatively, why not go through some of your old stuff after Christmas? See if there's any games or clothes that you don't need anymore, and see if you can donate them to a local charity shop. Why not find one that works to protect the rights of others and donate your stuff there? That way, the money that's raised from your donated stuff will be used to help others and to protect their rights. But it's not just people on the other side of the world who need their rights protecting, who need help. Look at your own community. Where's there a need, and what can you do to help? Maybe that looks like donating food to a local food bank or offering help to someone that you know is struggling. So I'm just going to leave you with the question, what can you do to help others? So that's all from us. Merry Christmas.